Test, 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 test. Good afternoon and welcome to the Village of Lisle Benedictine University Sports Complex. Today's NACC playoff action features the Eagles of Benedictine University squaring off against the Raiders of MSOE. Benedictine enters this championship series with an overall record of 33-12, while MSOE has an overall record of 31-7. MSOE has spent most of the season ranked top 25 nationally, along with a few weeks ranked in the top 15. They enter this tournament, this weekend's games, unranked, but will be looking to take down Benedictine. Benedictine and MSOE have not played at all this season, so this will be the first contest between the two teams. Benedictine won the South playoff division, and MSOE won the North playoff division. So today's contest is the first of the three-game series. MSOE will host the two games tomorrow, the third one if necessary. And we're just about to get underway. In the circle for Benedictine is Alex Loizen. She enters today's match with a 3.12 ERA, a 17-5 record, and 143 2/3 innings pitched. Cara McKenna will be batting leadoff for the Raiders of MSOE. She enters the game with a .453 batting average, good for second on the team, with 62 hits, 15 doubles, and 5 home runs. And it is a sunny and 72-degree day. The UV index is a 3, and the score is 0-0 as we begin the best of 3 game NACC championship. The winner will advance to the NCAA tournament. Loizen's first pitch, outside for ball number 1. The windup here. Catches the corner for strike 1. Count is 1-1. Sun is shining towards the right field. Strike number 2. Some outfielders were struggling seeing the ball in the sun during pregame. And the windup here. Fouled back. Count remains 1-2. Wind is blowing out towards right field. And Coach Kate Headcamp will visit Loizen on the mound. We'll have our first stoppage of play. Loizen will look at the sign, then pitch here. Bounces in for ball number 2. Wind up here. Fouled back. Count is 2-2. Second foul ball of the at-bat. Wind up here. Catches the outside corner for strike number 3. Grace Slaja now batting for MSOE with 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Puts it in play into the mitts of center fielder Faith Chada for out number 2. Number 11, Jenna Trewin, now batting for MSOE. She has a team-high .508 batting average with 63 hits on the year. Loizen. Pitch called strike number 1. The wind up here. Low for ball 1. windup. Catches the outside corner. Strike number 2. And hit into left field, but into the mitt of Scraba. And that's how the inning will end. And we'll head to the bottom of the first. Tied up 0-0.
Left fielder number 15, Taylor Scraba.
Taylor Scraba will be batting leadoff for Benedictine University. Scraba's hitting .444 on the year with 20 home runs. Ball number 1. In the circle for the Raiders is Lauren Pondo. Pondo has the 1.49 ERA this year with 18 wins. And Scraba gets a hold of that one. Deep left field, but will end up on the gravel road in foul territory for strike number 1. Pondo's pitch, hit by Scraba, and the first hit of the game will be a single for Benedictine.
Next up will the play of the junior from Berry, Kansas, the DP number 8,
Megan Fast now batting for Benedictine. Fast is a team high 449 batting average as she fouls off the first pitch for strike number 1. She has 66 hits and 46 RBIs. Shows bunts, and bunts foul. Strike number 2. In a playoff game like this, you don't know what run's going to be the game-winning run. So Fast can move Scraba over here with a bunt. Could be a good sign. As that ball misses, count is 1-2. Popped up into foul territory and in and out of the mitt will be a strike. Count is 1-2. Remains 1-2 rather. So MSOE is unable to come up with that foul ball for the out. Hit into right field. That's trouble, but able to be caught by the Raider right fielder Spitzer for the first out of the bottom of the first. Fisher's now batting for Benedictine with 1 out and 1 on. She sends another foul ball. For strike number 1. It's a beautiful day for softball. Scraba takes an aggressive secondary lead as Fisher fouls back pitch number 2. Outside ball 1. 1 and 2. Now the count. Pondo has pitched 136 innings for the Raiders as Fisher's bunt will go foul, and that will be an out, second out of the inning. It's number 13, Alyssa Gill, is now batting for Benedictine with 2 outs and 1 on. Pitch finds the bottom of the zone for strike number 1. The windup, Scraba running, and she will slide into second safely with a stolen base. That is Scraba's first stolen base of the game, 12th stolen base on the season. Comes at a clutch time, but will amount to nothing as Alyssa Gill strikes out there to end the inning. Score 0-0 as we head to the top of the second. The shortstop, Lauren Stefanczyk, now batting for MSOE. 0-0 as we enter the top of the second. The windup by Loizen. Hit on. Gill calls it, and Gill has it for out number 1. Number 5, Celine Pacheco, enters the batter's box for MSOE and watches strike number 1 go by. As Pacheco fouls that ball all the way to the Village of Lisle Benedictine University Sports Complex track, and the count is 0-2. The wind up here. The off speed just misses outside. Count is 1-2. With 1 out here, the top of the second, in the NACC Softball Championship. Loisen's pitch misses high again. 2-2. Wind up. Misses outside, and the count is full. 3-2. Corner infielders for Benedictine, Fisher and Gill, are positioned a few steps ahead of the bag in case of a bunt. And she will take her base for MSOE's first base runner of the game.
Now stepping up to take a swing, the sophomore from Schaumburg, Illinois, the DB, Morgan Long.
Morgan Long now batting for MSOE. 1 on, 1 out. Loisen's pitch. Right down the middle for strike number 1. Loisen doesn't walk too many batters. That was only her 25th walk of the season. Strike number 2 on bottom corner. Benedictine dugout encouraging Alex as a nice pitch fouled off there. Long from MSOE will look to advance the runner here on this pitch. And a called strike 3. Loisen's second strikeout of the game comes at a clutch time. Caitlin Spreitzer from Plainfield, Illinois is now batting. The wind up here. A nice pitch for strike number 1. Count is 0-1. And hit on into the left field. Caught by off the mid of Scraba. And 1 run will score for MSOE off the double by Spreitzer. And that's how the first run of the game will be scored. MSOE currently leads 1-0 off the double off the wall from number 10, Spreitzer. Number 13, Jocelyn Clody, now batting for MSOE. Runner on, 2 outs. Ball number 1. The wind up here. Catches the outside corner. Count is 1-1. The wind up. And off the mitt of Gill. And 1 MSOE run will score. And Clody will have an RBI. MSOE will take a 2-0 lead here at the top of the second in the NACC championship.
Next to bat is a junior from Frankfort, Illinois, the left fielder Delaney Martino.
Delaney Martino from Frankfort, Illinois, now batting for the Raiders of MSOE. 2 outs and 1 runner on first. Strike number 1 on the outside corner. And the wind up here. Off the top of the netting for strike number 2. Nice inning so far by the Raiders of MSOE, scoring the first 2 runs of the game. And with the strike, Loizen can stop the damage here. Misses outside for ball number 1. Count is 1-2. The windup here. Runner will advance, and that is in the gap. 1 run will score, and it will be a double. And MSOE takes the 3-0 advantage off the double by Martino. And MSOE's batting now top of the order. Karen McKenna will be batting. Blaine Martino is the reason why MSOE is currently winning 3-0. Loizen's pitch misses outside for ball number 1. Outside again, count is 2-0. The windup. Pop straight up. And Becky Ronconi will get out number 3 as MSOE has a 3-0 lead heading into the bottom of the 2nd. Now batting for Benedictine, it's Colleen Schmidt, the right fielder from Evergreen Park, Illinois. Watches ball number 1 go by. Benedictine's offense will look to match MSOE's here in the 2nd inning, trailing 0-3. 2-0 count. Pondo's pitch. Hit on by Schmidt into the gap and caught for a fly out and out number 1. Grace Salaja on the catch. Asia Robinette now batting for Benedictine. Nobody on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd. Misses inside for ball number 1. Outside ball number 2. Good patience shown by Robinette. The windup. And Robinette rips one in the left field off the top of the mitt. And it'll bounce off the wall. And Robinette will be standing on second with a double and Benedictine's 2nd hit of the game. And that will get the fans here clapping their hands. And Nina Franklin will hope to hit Robinette home here with 1 out. The bottom of the second. Benedictine trailing 3-0. The windup. Swing and a miss. Franklin has 29 RBIs here. He's looking to make 30 as ball number 1 goes by. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The wind up. Swing and a miss for strike number 2. Count is 1-2. Here in the NACC Softball Series Championship. The wind up here. Swing and a miss, strike number 3 for the second out of the inning.
Next up for the Aces, junior from Streetswood, Illinois, the catcher, Becky
Ronconi now batting for Benedictine University. First pitch, fouled back, strike number 1. Outside, count is 1-1. Entering today's match, Hondo, foul ball, count is 1-2. Entering today's match, Hondo has struck out 151 hitters, most on the team. Ball number 2 counts as 2-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. The wind up here, foul back. Wind is blowing slightly out. Corner infielders a step or 2 ahead of their respective bases. The pitch here catches the inside for the second strikeout of the inning. And that's how it will end as we will enter the top of the third with MSOE having a 3-0 lead. Grace Salaja, the number 2 hitter in the order for MSOE, will be the number 1 hitter here in the top of the third inning. Gill playing in on third base. Pitch number 1 misses outside for ball number 1. The windup. That chop, check swing over the head of shortstop Robinette will be a single for MSOE. Yeah, slap hit for a single as the MSOE offense is hitting well here. Double play opportunity, Robinette unable to turn it, but 1 out recorded.
And next to bat is the shortstop, Stefanczyk.
Lawrence Stefanczyk now the batter for the Raiders. 1 on, 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. MSOE still holding a 3-0 advantage. Strike number 1. The windup here by Loizen. Hit into right field, caught by Schmidt for out number 2. A difficult catch as the yellow ball was hit right in front of the yellow sun. And we have 2 outs, 1 on with number 5. Celine Piccio at the plate as she will foul the first pitch off for strike number 1. The windup misses high. Count is 1-1. The windup here. Ripped, foul for strike number 2. Count is 1-2. As Celine Pacheco ripped that one onto the Benedictine track. In the windup here by Loizen, and a hit into shallow right field, caught by Franklin for out number 3. And we will head to the bottom of the 3rd inning with MSOE leading 3-0. Chada now batting for Benedictine. Pondo still in the circle for the Raiders. Has only allowed 2 hits thus far. As strike number 1 comes rifling in. The The wind up here. And will be a ground out for out number 1. And the third base umpire is saying that hit Faith Chada's foot and will be a foul ball. Count moves to 0-2. And the wind up here misses high for the first ball of the at bat. The wind up here fouled back. Count remains 1-2. Wind blowing slightly out. Thank you. Fouled back behind the MSOE dugout. Count remains 1-2. Misses wide. 2-2. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. Hit into play, second base, and will be out number 1. But that out brings up the one hitter for Benedictine, number 15, Scraba. Scraba has hit 20 home runs this season, and she will get on base here with a bloop single into right field. 1 on, 1 out for number 8, Megan Fast. The windup, strike number 1. Scraba stole a base earlier today. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. As Pondo throws 2 strikes and is ahead in the count. Outside ball number 1, 1-2. The windup. Off-speed pitch bounces in for ball 2. Count is 2-2. 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Outside, and the count is full. The wind up here. Hit on by Fast into right field, deep right field. Caught by Spreitzer for out number 2. As Ashley Fisher now batting for Benedictine. To stay up to date with Benedictine Athletics, be sure to check out benueagles.com. Pondo's pitch. Ball number 1. The wind up here. Scraba is running, and it will be a foul ball. Nice catch by a Benedictine parent. And the count is 1-1. The windup here. Hit into right field. Foul territory. Count is 1-2. 2 outs and 1 on. The windup. Fisher fouls another one back. Off the Benedictine wooden chair. And 1-2. The windup. Hit on by Fisher. And will be a ground out for out number 3. As we will head to the top of the 4th. Benedictine trailing 3-0. Morgan Long will get things started here in the top of the 4th. So MSOE has a 3-0 lead after a 3-run second inning that featured a couple doubles. Loizen is pitching well in the 3rd and gets strike number 1 here to begin the 4th inning. And the windup here. Misses high, ball 1. Windup here. Strike on the outside corner. Count is 1-2. MSOE has had 4 hits on the day so far. As that one is popped up, and Gill will catch it for out number 1.
Next batter is the right fielder,
Caitlin Spreitzer now batting for MSOE. The windup by Loizen misses. Ball number 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Nobody on here in the top of the 4th. The windup. Hit into shallow left field, caught by Scraba, and came out of her mitt. It is ruled a hit. It will be a single for MSOE. With 1 out, 1 on here in the top of the 4th for MSOE's 5th hit of the game. Strike number 1. Number 13, Jocelyn Clody, is now batting for the white and red. Wind up. Hitting the foul territory. Strike number 2. Loizen re-enters the mound and misses outside for ball number 1. Count is 1-2. One on, one out. One pitch, hit into deep left field, but caught by Scraba for out number 2. Delaney Martino, the left fielder, now batting for MSOE. 2 outs, 1 on here in the top of the 4th. For more information about Benedictine University, be sure to check out ben.edu. As foul ball for strike number 1 on the swinging bunt. The windup misses a tad outside. Ball number 1. Count is 1-1. The wind up here. And caught by Robinette. Able to scoop it off the dirt for out number 3. And we will head to the bottom of the 5th inning. MSOE 3, Benedictine University 0. Third baseman, Alyssa Gill, now batting for Benedictine. She pops one up to third base, caught by number 4, Kara McKenna, for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Colleen Schmidt now batting for Benedictine. Ball number 1. The distance between the bases in softball, 60 feet. Fun fact, as Schmidt fouls that back. And the count is 0-2. The windup, missed high for ball number 1. Count is 1-2. For all the information for the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference, check out NACCsports.com. As Schmidt strikes out on the nice pitch by Pondo for the second out of the 4th inning. Robinette batting for Benedictine. Watches that ball go by, and the count is 1-0. The windup. Hit on to center field, but caught by Salaja for the third out of the fourth inning. And we will head to the top of the fifth inning, MSOE holding a 3-0 lead.
The Raider.
Now batting for MSOE, number 4, Kara McKenna. She watches ball number 1 go by. Top of the fifth inning, MSOE still holding on to a 3-0 lead as she rips one into left field, caught by Scraba for out number 1.
And Grace Salaja, the center fielder, now batting.
For Benedictine sports fans, the men's lacrosse team is currently losing 14-19 the first round of the NCAA men's lacrosse playoff. The pitch here by Loizen, hit in play by Salaja, and Gill throws to Fisher for out number 2.
The catcher, Jenna
Treewin, the MSOE's leader in batting average, is now batting. Nobody on, 2 outs here at the top of the fifth. Home plate umpire did not like that pitch, and it is ball number 1. The windup here, fouled back, count is 1-1. Jenna Treewin is hitting .508 on the season with 53 RBIs on 63 hits. The windup here misses 2-1. And the windup here. Catches the plate. Count is 2-2. 2 outs here in the top of the fifth inning. Benedictine trailing 0-3. Hit into foul territory on some dandelions. Count remains 2-2. The windup. Hit into center field but will be caught by Franklin, the second baseman, making a nice play over to catch. And that's how the top half of the 5th inning will end. MSOE still leading 3-0. Sarah Allison will get things started here for Benedictine, number 25, and she will foul one. Back for strike number 1. This pitch misses outside for ball number 1. Pondo. This pitch is fouled off. Again, 1-2. Count is 2-2. Nobody on, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, the first game of the NACC championship between Benedictine and MSOE, and a swinging strike 3, and that will be the first out of the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Normally behind the plate now, alongside the plate is the catcher Becky Ronconi.
Becky Ronconi now batting for Benedictine. And she pops one. And a nice diving catch made by MSOE first baseman Clody. And it'll be out number 2.
And that brings up the center fielder, Faith Chada for Benedictine.
Faith Chada now batting for the Eagles of Benedictine University. Trailing 0-3 here in the 5th inning, as Chada's hit will go about 5 feet foul down the right field line. So we have strike number 1. The windup here misses outside. Count is 1-1. Catches the outside corner. Count is 1-2. Fouled off by Chada. Remains 1-2. The wind up here. Hit. by Chada, and will be a ground out to end the 5th inning. Benedictine trailing MSOE 0-3 as we enter the top of the 6th inning. And the 6th inning will begin with ball number 1. Number 22, Stefanski, or Stefanchek, batting for MSOE. Count is 2-0. High, and will land behind the dugout. The count is 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody on, nobody out. Here at the top of the 6th inning. And a bloop single into center field for the first hit and base runner of the inning.
Pacheco next to bat for Raiders.
Celine Pacheco now batting for MSOE. We'll have a pinch runner. Number 6, Sadie Gabriel, now running. Correct that. That pinch runner is Faith Mata. So we have 1 on, nobody out, with Pacheco at the plate. Strike, swing and a miss, strike number 1. As Mata takes a big secondary lead. The windup by Loizen. Hit into left center field, caught by Chada. And that'll be out number 1. number 12, Morgan Long, batting for MSOE. Fly ball into shallow right field, caught by Schmidt for out number 2.
And next to bat is the right fielder,
Caitlin Spreitzer will be batting with 2 outs, 1 on here in the top of the 6th inning. MSOE having a 3-0 lead. Ball number 1. The windup by Loizen. Popped up. Gill calls it, and Gill's got it for out number 3. And we will head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Benedictine trailing 0-3. Scraba will get things started for Benedictine University as we are in the bottom of the 6th inning of Game 1 of the NACC Championship. Pondo's pitch is a swing and a miss for strike number 1. The windup here. Misses outside for ball number 1. Count is 1-1. Pondo will line up here. Swing and a miss, strike number 2. Count is 1-2. Wind up, popped up, and Pondo is called off by McKenna, and that will be out number 1. Megan Fast now batting for Benedictine as the head coach for MSOE, telling the right fielder to take a few steps back. Swing and a miss for strike number 1. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning at the Village of Lisle Benedictine University Sports Complex. Hit by Fast. And for out number 2, throw over by Stefanchek to Clody for out number 2. Fisher now batting for Benedictine as Fisher sends it foul into the Dandelions for strike number 1. Hit by Fisher. out number 3 as Benedictine goes 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom of the 6th. We'll head to the 7th inning. MSOE still leading 3-0. Jocelyn Clody will get things started off here in the top of the 7th. Nobody on, nobody out. As MSOE is leading 3-0. Loisen's pitch in there for strike number 1. MSOE has 5 hits so far today. Benedictine has 3. Loisen's pitch fouled back and will be caught by Fisher for out number 1. Fisher called off Ron Coney there. And next batter for MSOE is number 3, Delaney Martino. And swinging bunt into the mitt of Gill, and then throws over to Fisher for out number 2. Number 4, Kara McKenna, now batting for MSOE. Here in the top of the 7th, MSOE up 3-0. Ball number 1. Wind up into foul territory, and a nice sliding catch by Robinette, and that's how the top half of the inning will end. And we will head to the bottom of the 7th. MSOE 3, Benedictine 0. Alyssa Gill now batting for Benedictine. Strike number 1. The windup. And out number 1 on the ground out to third base. It's Colleen Schmidt, the right fielder, now batting for Benedictine. The windup. And into foul territory for strike number 1. This is a three-game series between the two teams. MSOE is in control of this one. But the game is not over. Count is 1-1 here in the 7th inning with 1 out. Strike number 2, count is 1-2. And strike number 3, another strikeout for Pondo. And Robinette is the next batter for Benedictine. The windup, check swing for ball number 1 after the home plate umpire double checks with his colleague down at first base. The windup here, Robinette puts it into right center field and will be a double, maybe 3, and will be a stand-up double for Benedictine. Robinette's second double of the day as her right center field hit makes its way all the way to the wall. And Benedictine has 2 on, or a runner on second with 2 out, trailing 3-0, looking to score some runs. The windup, strike number 1, Colleen, correct that, Nina Franklin is batting for Benedictine. Swing and a miss, strike number 2. Pondo's pitch, strike number 3, and that's how the 7th inning will end, as Pondo has been dealing all match, and that's how it will end. MSOE wins 3-0. The teams will play 2 games tomorrow. Well, they'll play game number 2 and game number 3 if needed tomorrow at the Milwaukee School of Engineering. But MSOE wins the first one 3-0.